Welcome, family. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to Authentically Being Ava. I'm Ava. So, family, I've come to you again today to talk about friendships. I wanted to explore today the possibility of, do we really need friends? I mean, can our lives be exciting and fun and fulfilling without friends? Most people would say no, but we have a lot of different perspectives here. Let's talk about it. Friendships. You know, I talk about friends so much in my videos and relationships because I have been hurt by a lot of them, and it has actually taken me to a journey to myself, which is a great thing. And I grew up with it just being myself and my mom. And then my dad came into the picture, my stepdad. But I grew up with no siblings. So from the very beginning, for me, it was a journey of self. I didn't exactly like the journey of self. I was hoping for a brother or sister at some point, but I did have the opportunity to grow up with my cousins. So I did get to see a different perspective to my existence. So like I said, I was not excited. I felt lonely. I was quite sad. And so I longed for friends. I longed to have companionship around me. But like I said, when that didn't happen, when it really wasn't that way, I had to learn to be happy and content with my own company. As I got older and, you know, started to go to school, and there came a time where, of course, you're meeting all these people and you have the opportunity to make friends and all of that. And I did. It seemed like I always came across a lot of people who were not showing their true selves. They were very catty, petty, manipulative. I really took people at face value, but I had to understand that people aren't always putting forth, you know, their true selves when you meet them. So I realized that, hey, I'm gonna have to do some of this stuff on my own, you know. And the good part about it was that I already had a foundation of getting to be comfortable with my own company. So it's really not a bad thing. It's really not. It's always good to have your own understanding about yourself, to learn who you are. You know, in the beginning, when I was searching for friends and wanting close girlfriends that could be like a sister, since I didn't have that, you know, it's hard trying to find a really good person. And it really is a genuine person. And so during those times when I didn't have anybody in my life, I really came to value my own opinion. I think it's healthy for everybody to make their own decision, to base things on their own understanding. It's really beneficial to do that. I found myself, let me tell you, at one point where I was so pressed to have a friend. I was so confused about life decisions and what to do. I didn't really have that good type of relationship with my mom, so I couldn't go to her, you know, because we had a strained relationship. So, you know, I'm looking for friends. Well, you have to really vet your friends and make sure they are worthy. Sometimes friends can give you bad advice. Sometimes friends will give you bad advice on purpose because they're envious or they're jealous or they're hating. I mean, it's like I said, so in all of these types of situations, and then sometimes you may have a really good girlfriend who is there for you. So there are cases where, yes, you know, it can be rewarding to have, you know, friends and friendships in your life, but it's just all about making sure you've picked and searched for the right ones. For those of you who are like me, who were, you know, were having challenges in that area of picking the right ones, you know, the alternative is, can you live, you know, friends free? life free without friends. It's possible, it really is, but you have to really develop a relationship with yourself. You have to really be secure with yourself. All friends don't have to be females. You can have male friends as well, but you just have to just make sure of the motive. But yeah, so I remember when I first decided I wanted to do a YouTube video. The majority of my friends were bewildered. I mean, they just were looking like, why? You know, I mean, what for? I mean, what do you have to talk about? I mean, what is it going to be about? Feel the love. You know, I just felt the why, you know, like the opposing questions. And I just, you know, I'm just like, wow. Them too. You can't always take it personal. And this is true. But when you kind of always have that type of response from some folks, like sometimes you may feel like, you know what, maybe I'll just keep some of this stuff to myself. You know, I just got to read the room and realize the type of friendship that I have. Are they a person who always inspirational or motivational, or type of friend who is always encouraging my best self? Or are they a friend that's always questioning things that you do? You know, sometimes you got to really listen to what comes out of your friend's mouth. You have to take all of these things into consideration, okay? You have to use your own judgment after having gone through a few things, you know, like, is this worth it? Do I need to, you know, express everything that I want to do to my friends? Initially, you want to do that, you know, you want somebody to root for you, you know. If you don't have that, it's nice to have, but like I said, a lot of times when you meet a lot of opposition, it's like, why am I even bothering, you know, telling them anything, because they're going to, you know, discourage you. And who wants to hear that? So in cases like this, you know, it is good to be your own best friend. You don't have to tell everybody or look for a person to corroborate your ideas with you, because that's not always going to happen. And what can end up happening sometimes is that they can discourage you. And then they may not always mean to be discouraging. You know, you have to look at people at where they are. Maybe they're not people who are used to trying different things or doing something adventurous, or, you know, having excitement about things. You know, you have to just pick and choose who, you know, what type of friends you want to have in your life. And maybe that'll help you gauge, you know, in your other, you know, friendships. You still can have associates, people that you associate with at work, stuff like that, or, you know, like social media. Just keep your, you know, your personal stuff to yourself. I'm not saying spread all your business out there. No one wants to hear all of that, you know, and we want to be safe. But, you know, sometimes some of these friends, I tell you, they will want to be your friend just to get into your business, to talk about you, to spread your business. And this has what has happened to me time and time again. And I really didn't understand. I'm like, what am I doing? You know, like, you know, they seemingly would share their business as well. But like I said, I come to understand, you know, sometimes people aren't always giving you the truth about themselves. Sometimes people want to give you some juicy information so that you can give them some juicy information. So then they can go back and spread your information to people who don't necessarily like you, you know. And then you get a picture, and then it's like, oh, these are the mean girls. And you were hating all along. If your situation is similar to this, and you're just like in a period where you're just like, you know what, I'm chilling, I'm not looking for no new friends, I'm doing me, you know. Get you a good therapist and share some of these things that may be pressing or concerning, or that you may need advice with or help sorting through with them. That is going to stay with them, your therapist. That's not going to, you know, Lisa Ann and Bobby Sue over here, and they're not going to be telling other people, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to spread your business. So I would give that advice. I don't know, these days, family, this is just from my perspective and my observation. And it's like, people don't want to heal themselves. They don't want to work on their issues. They don't want to do the things that they are afraid to do. So when they see somebody else doing it, or, you know, displaying things that they want to try but can't, but, you know, all this, they want to then hate. And it's like, you know, develop you and your personality. Whatever it is that you want to do, you have to develop that for yourself. that hate will go away. Because it's really not about you that hate. It's really about them. You know, they're not at a place where they have developed themselves to find out certain things about themselves. And they want to hate on you for it. And it's not your fault. But they can go and do all that over there, okay? You don't need that hateration in your life. So, yeah, family, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. You know, can we, you know, be happy without friendships and without friends? And the answer is yes. I think so. I really do. Wherever you go, you can still be like, hey, how you doing? You know, have a little conversation with people and, you know, talk to them and hey, nice meeting you. Take care and go about your merry way. You're good. You know, so you don't need to be a hermit and all that. You know, that's not necessary, but you can enjoy yourself. Family, thank you for listening. I'm going to cut this video short. I've enjoyed discussing this topic with you. If you have anything that you want to add, please leave it in the comments. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, family.